Long ago, in a land of breathtaking beauty near the Jordan River, stood two powerful cities, Sodom and Gomorrah. They were cities of wealth, prosperity, and opportunity. But beneath their riches lay something far darker. The people had become corrupt, caring only for themselves. Justice was forgotten. The poor were ignored. The innocent suffered. And worst of all, they had completely turned away from God. But in the midst of this, there was one man who did not belong, Lot. Lot was the nephew of Abraham, a man of great faith. For years they had traveled together, following the path God had laid out for them. But one day they came to a crossroads. Their flocks had grown too large, and they had to part ways. Abraham, in his wisdom, let Lot choose first. Lot saw the Jordan Valley, rich and fertile, full of promise, and so he made his choice. He would settle near Sodom. At first, it seemed like a wise decision. His wealth increased, and he became a respected man in the city. But over time, he saw the truth. Sodom was not just rich, it was wicked. And as he tried to live a righteous life, he found himself surrounded by a people who had no interest in doing what was right. Still, he stayed, until one day everything changed. One evening, as the sun began to set, three visitors arrived at Abraham's camp. Abraham, always hospitable, welcomed them with kindness. He prepared food and offered them the best of what he had. But these were no ordinary travelers. As they ate, one of them, who was the Lord himself, spoke. "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great," he said. "Their sin is very serious. We are going to see if it is as bad as it seems." Abraham's heart grew heavy. He knew what this meant. Judgment was coming. But he also knew that Lot was there, so he pleaded with God. "Lord," Abraham asked, "will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city?" And God answered, "If I find 50 righteous people in Sodom, I will spare the whole city for their sake." Abraham pressed further. "What about 45? 40? 30? Each time, God answered the same way. Finally, Abraham asked, "What if only 10 righteous people are found?" And God replied, "For the sake of 10, I will not destroy the city." But deep inside, Abraham feared the truth. There might not even be 10. That evening, as the last light of day faded, 2 angels entered Sodom. Lot, sitting at the city gate, saw them and immediately recognized something different about them. Rushing to meet them, he bowed. "Please, come to my home. It is not safe to stay in the streets." At first they refused, but Lot insisted, and at last they agreed. Yet, before the night was over, danger came knocking. A mob gathered. Men from every corner of the city surrounded Lot's house. Their voices were filled with wicked intent. "Where are the men who came to you tonight?" they demanded. "Bring them out to us." Lot's heart pounded. He knew their intentions were evil. He stepped outside, shutting the door behind him. "Please, my brothers, do not do this wicked thing." But they laughed at him. "Who are you to judge us?" they sneered. They lunged toward the door. Then, suddenly, a burst of light. The angels struck the mob with blindness. Stumbling and confused, they scattered into the night. Then the angels turned to Lot. "Lot," they said, "do you have any family here? Get them out now. The Lord has sent us to destroy this city." Lot ran to warn his future sons-in-law, but they laughed at him. So at dawn the angels urged him again. "Hurry, take your wife and daughters and go. If you stay, you will be swept away." Still, Lot hesitated, but there was no time. The angels took hold of Lot, his wife, and his daughters and led them away. "Run for your lives. Do not look back." Then the judgment came. A great explosion filled the sky as fire rained down from heaven. The cities crumbled. Smoke rose, covering the land in darkness. Lot and his daughters ran, but behind them, Lot's wife stopped. She turned back, and in an instant she was turned into a pillar of salt. Sodom and Gomorrah were gone. The land that had once been so full of life was now a wasteland. But even in judgment there was mercy. Lot had been given a chance to start over. And from his story we learn this. When God calls us to leave something behind, we must never look back.